He who is satisfied with whatever comes by chance, who has passed beyond the dualities of pleasure and pain, who is free from jealousy, who remains the same in success and failure, even when he acts, he is not bound. Shri Krishna has already described 3 qualities in the last verse, and now he continues to describe more qualities. In this verse, Shri Krishna shows the qualities one needs in order not to be bound by acts. The first of these qualities is being satisfied by whatever comes by chance. Anubita defined this as yadracha, which is the first part of the first word used in this verse, being satisfied with whatever comes by chance, as ayachitam anskruptam uttamamam yudrachaya, meaning one should have 2 qualities. Never ask anything from anyone, and number 2, not even having the wish for it. This is a very specific definition, as people normally interpret being satisfied with whatever comes by chance as just taking what anyone gives you. It's not like that. You should not even have the wish for the thing. By just taking what chance brings, unasked and uncontrived. A thinker said it very nicely, that a person should never have to declare that he never asks anything from anyone. If a person keeps telling everyone that he never asks anything from anyone, then he's effectively saying that I never ask anyone for anything, but if you want to give the thing to me, then you can. If you never ask anything from anyone, then only you and God should know. In the Shankar Bhashya, Adi Shankaracharya defined Rajacha as apariti topana labda yutra labana tena shantusha sajanaya lampratena, meaning someone who is content with that which comes unsought. Someone who is content with that which comes unsought. It's very difficult to stay in this state because the mind keeps asking for things. The mind keeps seeing things that other people have gathered, starts comparing oneself to other people, and tells a person that he can't go without the thing. Such a person does not even have the wish for the thing. If we look at yadracha, then the word is actually a way of asking for alms. Our scriptures say that there are 5 ways for sannyasi is a man of renunciation, or a woman of renunciation, to ask for alms. Now there's no sannyasis and there's no begging for alms, but it's necessary to understand the definition in our academic interests. And if I say later that when someone is limiting something to begging for alms for sannyasi, then you know what I mean. We should feel like this in our lives. First of all, first way to ask for alms is before leaving to ask for alms, when the right person comes to give alms, before one leaves for alms, when the right person comes to give alms, then this is called ayachita alms. This is when the sannyasi has not left and is still in his hermitage. The right person comes before he leaves to give him alms, then this is ayachita. This can also happen in our lives. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. It's enjoyable because it's difficult. The second type is when, without deciding to go to a specific, rather than going to a specific person's house, someone decides to go to 5 or 7 random houses like a bee. A bee doesn't decide which flowers it wants to go to, but it chooses them at random. Furthermore, when the bee sucks juice from flowers, then it doesn't cause any losses or damages to the flowers. In fact, it's helping them. People that studied biology or science will know this. During pollination, the bee helps flowers. It sucks juice for itself, but in turn it helps in the cross-pollination process between flowers by taking pollen from one flower to another. This happens very naturally. Everything in the world happens naturally, yet it's also synchronized. Only people have created randomness and difficulties in the system. Nature is so nice, but humans have broken this rhythm. They've broken this synchronicity. In the same way as a bee, the sannyasi does not decide to go to specific houses because their dals are nice or their rice are the nicest, but instead goes to places at random and takes things like a bee. Such a person is asankrupta. The third type is without making efforts oneself, devotees come and give alms. In this case is yadrucha popatanam. The sannyasi understands he has not gone to ask someone for something, and he hasn't got a wish for that thing, but God gave the devotee the inspiration and the resolve to do this. The sannyasi got this because of the wishes of the gods. The sannyasi had no wish for it and did not ask for it, but God gave him the inspiration for it and he got it. The sannyasi accepts the fact that it was God's wish for him to get it, and he got it. The fourth is, when before the sannyasi gets up from his prayers, a devotee makes a prayer to have his alms accepted. This is called Prakpanit. In this case, the sannyasi has not even got up, and the devotee comes and gives it. When one gets this in their life, then they are very happy. Guruji has experienced this, and I have experienced this. And when you experience this, then you understand. You've not wished for anything, but God sends it to you. When you had to wish for something and work hard to attain it, then you get happiness out of it. But this is another kind of happiness when you get something from God without asking. This is Prakpanit. The fifth type is when, after begging for alms, a devotee requests that the sannyasi takes the alms. This is called Tatkalik. Such a thing comes out of his own, from God's wish. The person does not have a wish of his own, and nothing in the world happens without wishes, therefore it is God's wish. Therefore Shri Krishna says in this verse that one should be satisfied by whatever comes from chance. Remember the principle of life, that in order to achieve satisfaction, one needs to understand truth and perspective, whereas in order to achieve dissatisfaction, one needs dreams, wishes, and untruth. While a person doesn't have dreams and incompleteness, then he can't be sad or dissatisfied with life. For satisfaction, one needs wisdom of what is there at the moment. Sudama, who's heard of Sudama from the Srimad Bhagavad? Sudama, he was a devotee of Shri Krishna. In 81st chapter of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavad, the scripture here, while describing Sudama, the same words were given. Yadacho panena vatmana, meaning he lived his life by whatever came by chance. Next quality, Dvandita, meaning the first word of the second line, meaning one who has passed beyond the dualities, is defined as Dvandvahi titoshnahi hanya manoti abhishanchita dvanda tita uchate, meaning one who does not get disturbed when circumstances that give rise to dualities happen. Such a person is Dvandatito. The dualities that Shri Krishna is referring to here include, for example, pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat, love and hate. If the circumstances do not arise, then this passing beyond dualities is skin deep. A person that's truly beyond dualities is calm and steady. If you look at the whole world, then you'll see that it's a duality. We cannot live without dualities. That's why we get stuck in dualities. A person can only become a friend when there's a possibility of him becoming an enemy. Remember this. These are the dualities, friend and enemy. A person that is a friend today can become an enemy tomorrow. Chanakya from India and Machiavelli from Europe say that you should never tell things to your friends that you would not want to tell your enemies. You must understand this. If you do not want something to reach your enemy's ears, then you should not tell them to your friend. This is because you don't know who your friend will go and tell that thing to, and also because you never know when your friend can become your enemy. We're living in the world of dualities. We have to learn to be free from these dualities. Next one, last word of the second line, vimatsara, is to be free from jealousy. Jealousy is a very natural feeling in human beings. Jealousy is defined as an inability to see good things happening to other people. This is when someone's blood boils when another person is happy. Vimatsara is a state that when you're fine with other people being happy, it is very easy in this world to be sad with other people's sorrows. Guruji finds it very strange when scriptures from all over the world say that one should be sad from other people's sorrows. This is instinctive. You don't even need to have development for this. You can very naturally get sad at other people's sorrows. For example, if you leave at 9 a.m. in the morning to go to the office, and you turn aside to see a leper sitting down underneath a blanket, and the leper begs to us, the thought comes to us straight to our mind about how poor the leper is. You take a currency note out of your pocket and you give it to the leper. You have a lot of pity for the leper. You help the leper because you got sad in seeing the leper's sadness. You do not need to develop yourself in order to do this. No, because it was instinctive. You may never have seen the leper before in your life, and you may never see the leper again in your life, but as soon as you see his sorrows, then you feel his sadness in your heart. It's a very natural thing to be sad at other people's sadness, but it's a very difficult thing to be happy at other people's happiness. And if a person is happy, if someone that's close to us, if the person that's happy is someone close to us, then it's a very difficult thing. If a person far away is happy, that doesn't matter to you. But when a person close to you becomes happy, then your feelings of jealousy become so strong because you cannot see them happy. When Sachin Tendulkar hits a 6 shot, then everyone claps their hands and admire it. But when one's neighbour's son comes back having scored 80% in the exams, then one would not be able to hear this, especially if one's own son only got 60% in the exam. One would not go and congratulate that boy because he is closer to you. Vimatsara is a habit of becoming happy when you see other people's happiness. A person that is jealous cannot do this. In Hong Kong, there was an exhibition of several crabs from all around the world. These crabs were collected from the seashores from many countries. It was an international exhibition. All the countries were invited and sent representatives to this exhibition, which took place in a big exhibition hall. There were different stalls and counters for each country. The exhibition was due to start at 10 a.m., therefore all the representatives began getting themselves ready at 7 a.m. They were given strict instructions to keep their crabs in glass containers with a lid on them. There were very many similar instructions. A very famous leader was going to come to inaugurate the ceremony, and therefore there were large security checks and police out to observe people's possessions. When they came in to India's stall, the country India's stall, then there were crabs in the containers, but the containers didn't have lids on them. The security guards told them to seal the containers with lids. The people at the India stall said that it wasn't necessary. The security guard asked them what they meant because there were crabs in them and many people were coming to the exhibition. The people at the India stall told them not to worry because no crabs will come out. The people said that the crabs will not come out because they're Indian crabs, and therefore as soon as one crab tries to climb up, then one of the crabs from below will pull its leg and bring it back down. They said that not a single crab will be able to come out. This is where the phrase crab mentality came from. This is jealousy, when one person cannot see another person's success. A person must become vimatsara. If you see a person climbing and know that you do not have the strength to also climb, then because God has given him the strength, you should offer him your shoulder so you can rise further. Such a person is vimatsara. Next, sama siddhau asiddhau in the third line. A person should remain the same in success and failure. This is because a person decides in her mind what success and failure are. If what she wishes to happen takes place, then she calls it success. And when what she does not wish to happen takes place, then she calls it a failure. But a person that reaches a wise state stops wishing for things altogether. It's just that when we have a preset ideas that success and failure come. A person that's in a wise state does not have this preset idea. When a person is satisfied by whatever comes by chance, she has passed beyond dualities of pleasure and pain, is free from jealousy, and remains the same in success and failure, then she is not bound when she acts. Next verse, verse 23.